Check this out. These guys are literally fishing for piranhas using nothing but a piece of meat in their bare hands. Yeah, you heard that right, bare hands. Now imagine if one of them slipped and fell into the water. What would you think would happen? Instant feeding frenzy? Or have we all just been duped by Hollywood? Welcome to Wildlife Explained. Today we're going to talk about your childhood nightmare, piranhas, and answer some big questions. Are piranhas really as aggressive as we've been told? Can they actually kill a human? Is this actually a real video or just a staged clickbait to get some clicks? Stay tuned. You might be surprised at what's fact, what's fiction. Alright, let's break it down. First off, piranhas are not just one super aggressive species ready to strip anything alive down to the bone. Nope, there are over 30 different species of piranhas out there, and, plot twist, not all of them are ferocious predators. Some are downright chill. Yeah, the infamous red-bellied piranha is one that gets all the attention in the movies. So, where can you actually find these fascinating fish? Well, they're hanging out in the freshwater rivers of South America. Picture places like the Amazon Basin, the Orinoco River, and the Piranha River system. These rivers are rich in biodiversity, surrounded by lush rainforest, and let's be honest, they already feel like the kind of place where wild things happen. The water's often murky, the environment's teeming with life, and it's the perfect setup for creatures like piranhas to thrive. Now let's talk about what piranhas actually eat, because this is where things get interesting and surprising. Piranhas are more like nature's cleanup crew than bloodthirsty predators. Sure, if they stumble upon an easy meal, like a piece of meat or an injured animal, they won't say no, but most of the time they're scavengers, munching on things like dead fish, insects, and even seeds. That's right, seeds. Some piranha species are even plant eaters. Who would have thought, right? So really, piranhas play a vital role in their ecosystems. They clean up debris and carcasses from the river, kind of like underwater janitors of the Amazon. Doesn't sound so terrifying now, does it? Or are we sugarcoating things here to make you think they're harmless? Before we dive into the reality of those wild piranha feeding frenzy videos you've seen, let's take a step back in time. We're heading all the way back to Theodore Roosevelt's famous Amazon expedition in the early 1900s. During his trip, Roosevelt witnessed a dramatic and, let's be honest, totally staged demonstration of piranha power. Here's what happened. Local villagers had trapped a group of piranha in a small enclosed stretch of river and starved them for days. Once they were good and ravenous, the villagers dropped a cow into the water. What followed was a frenzy of epic proportions, as the piranhas tore the poor animal apart in minutes. Understandably, Roosevelt was horrified, and when he wrote about the event, it painted piranhas as terrifying, insatiable predators. But let's be real here, this was entirely set up for dramatic effect. The locals wanted to impress their VIP guest, and boy did they succeed. Before we continue telling you how pop culture helped in turning piranhas into the aquatic boogeyman we know today, we kindly ask you to complete the YouTube routine of liking the video, subscribing, and maybe commenting. It really helps us making fun and informative content like this. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hollywood has always had a talent for taking a nugget of truth and blowing it up into something massive and terrifying. When it comes to piranhas, it's no different. Thanks to blockbuster movies like Piranha and its sequels, we've grown up with this image of piranhas as ruthless, flesh-eating predators. Hollywood painted them as swarming nightmares, capable of stripping a person down to the bone in a matter of seconds. It's the kind of stuff that sticks in your head and makes you think twice before stepping into certain rivers. But here's the reality. While piranhas do have sharp teeth and are attracted to the scent of blood or open flesh, they're not the savage, bloodthirsty creatures that movies make them out to be. Most of the time, they're just peaceful fish, minding their own business in the water. If you were to accidentally fall into a river full of piranhas, the chances of them swarming you are actually pretty slim. Unless, of course, there are special circumstances, like if you're already bleeding heavily or something like that. So how did Hollywood turn these relatively harmless fish into underwater villains? It's all about drama and fear. Filmmakers and storytellers love taking things that already have a bit of a scary edge and dialing them up to 11. In the case of piranhas, their sharp teeth and reputation as scavengers made them the perfect candidates for exaggerated horror. Add a few ominous underwater camera angles, some eerie music, and scenes of chaotic splashing, and you've got yourself a cinematic monster that'll keep audiences on the edges of their seat. Of course, movies like Piranha weren't trying to be documentaries. They were pure entertainment, designed to thrill and terrify. But over time, these exaggerated depictions started to shape how we think about piranhas in real life. The myth of the man-eating piranha became so widespread that it started to overshadow the truth about these fascinating creatures. Now, when you watch a video of piranhas in action, like these two guys fishing and witnessing a feeding frenzy, it's easy to think, this isn't Hollywood, this is real life. But it does look very close to Hollywood, right? So what are we talking about? Why are we even trying to soften the image of these creatures? Well, because Hollywood's been telling us for decades that they're mindless, bloodthirsty monsters just waiting to strip the flesh off of anything, or anyone, that comes too close. But the truth is, piranhas are far more complex and, dare I say it, misunderstood. Most of the time, they're not the aggressive predators we imagine. In fact, they're often just chilling, nibbling on plants, seeds, or maybe a small fish here and there. So what about those feeding frenzies? Why do they happen? Well, it's not because piranhas are out for blood. These dramatic moments only occur when they're pushed to their limits, when circumstances force them into survival mode. Think about it. In their natural habitat, food can be really hard to come by. They might stumble across a rare find like a carcass or an injured animal, and suddenly it's a race against time. Every fish is thinking the same thing. Eat as much as you can, as fast as you can, because who knows when the next meal will show up. What looks like pure aggression is really just competition. Hundreds of fish are trying to grab a bite, and in the chaos, it seems like a scene out of a horror movie, but in reality, it's just survival. The frenzy isn't senseless, it's about making the most out of a tough situation. And let's not forget, piranhas are social creatures. They live in groups called shoals for protection. The shoal acts as a safety net, helping them avoid becoming someone else's dinner. But when food enters the picture, the social harmony can break down. Cooperation takes a backseat to individual survival instincts, and that's when the frenzy kicks in. Once the food is gone though, it's back to normal. They go back to swimming together like nothing ever happened. Here's where it gets even cooler. Piranhas have a way of communicating that makes these frenzies happen so quickly. When one fish finds food, it releases chemicals, kind of like a pheromone-based dinner bell. That alerts the rest of the group. It's basically shouting, hey, food over here. And that's why things escalate so fast. It's not random. It's a system that's been fine-tuned by millions of years of evolution. Speaking of evolution, let's talk about why piranhas behave this way. Their natural environments, rivers and floodplains in South America, are unpredictable. Food sources can be scarce and scattered. Over time, they've developed these rapid group-based feeding strategies to survive in such conditions. It's incredibly efficient. If you think about it, what we're witnessing in those viral videos is the result of generations of adaptation. Now, let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions. Piranhas aren't just predators. They're opportunistic feeders, which means they'll eat whatever's available. Sure, they'll hunt small animals if they have to, but they're just as likely to scavenge. A lot of those dramatic feeding frenzies involve piranhas cleaning up a dead or dying animal, not actively hunting something down. They're nature's cleanup crew, taking advantage of whatever comes their way. This is where Hollywood gets it so wrong. Piranhas aren't out there attacking healthy, large animals or people for no reason. If they do go after something big, it's probably already weak or dead. Most of the time, they're harmless to humans unless provoked or in a state of desperation. Now, desperation, that's a big part of the story. Those viral videos of piranha frenzies, there's usually more to the story than meets the eye. Environmental factors like droughts, rising waters, temperatures, and habitat destruction can all mess with their food supply. When rivers shrink, prey becomes harder to find, and the piranhas have no choice but to act more aggressively. Seasonal changes play a role too. During the dry season, when water levels drop, prey and predators are forced into smaller spaces. This creates a perfect storm for increased competition. Add in human activities like overfishing and pollution, and the ecosystem gets thrown even more out of balance. It's not that piranhas are changing, it's their environment that's pushing them to the edge. So the next time you see a viral video of piranhas in action, take a moment to think about what's really going on. What might have led to that frenzy? Maybe the river's drying up, or their habitat's been damaged by human interference. These dramatic events are about survival, not aggression. Thank you for coming all the way to the end of this video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.